Hello, my name is Nicola. I'm a ranger here in Fota Wildlife Park and I work on the hoof stock section. So the main animals I work with would be the Rothschild giraffe, the European bison, the Indian rhino and the tapirs. So the animals are mainly herbivores, so that means they have a plant-based diet. So the majority of food on hoof stock is hay, but we feed also a lot of branches. So today I'm going to talk about the sustainable circular economy, which is all about reuse, reduce and recycle. It's also the commitment to protect the environment and the animal, how we reuse animal waste. It's important that our visitors to the park know how much we reduce and recycle animal waste. Resources are reused in a natural way, making use of waste. Our animals produce a lot of waste. So for example, our rangers here in the park just decided to go and weigh some of the rhino poos, which they produce about 50 kgs of feces per day. So that's a lot of poo. Nothing is wasted, only used and reused in a natural, economic way. We are committed to looking after the animals and their needs. We feed browse, which are branches that are freshly cut daily by our maintenance team. They usually cut about 50 branches a day, which we spread out between the bison, rhino, tapirs and the Rothschild giraffe. We're very lucky here in Fota to have a number of plantations in Cove and also in Blarney and around the park grounds. Planting trees are very important so we can offset carbon emissions. We use a variety of browse here at the park. We use oak, sycamore, willow and also some Christmas trees that we use for the bison. So we're very lucky in wintertime there in December we use the Christmas trees and put them into the bison paddock for them to have a bit of enrichment. So they love playing around with them and also they eat them. So here in the park we use willow, a lot of willow, which is behind me here. It's a really robust plant, so it shoots up really quickly. So it can grow up to about 6 feet per year. So after 2 to 3 years, it's ready to be harvested again. So here behind me, you can see the willow. It's shooting up there and it's actually not been long since it was last cut. So this is probably about maybe in around the year mark, but you see how much it's after growing already. So it grows really quickly. So Sally, which is the willow, is a very common widespread native plant that grows really well in boggy wetland, which suits our climate conditions here in Ireland. In Africa, the giraffes would browse for 17 hours mainly on acacia trees. So we replace that here a lot with willow. It's high in protein and fibre and great for the animal's natural digestive system. Throughout summer, the nutrients and sugars are mainly in the lovely green leaves, and in winter it goes all into the bark. Every morning and afternoon, the browse are hung up in the giraffe paddock, which is a 2-person job. We spread the browse out throughout the whole poles in the paddock. These poles work great to tie the branches up on. The cord that we use brings the branch up high for it to be as natural as possible for the giraffe. All branches are collected from the houses daily. They're then stored in the mulch area and they're mulched here on site. Once they're all mulched, we're using them for bedding as it reduces the cost of straw bedding. So this mulch is also used for muddy areas around the paddocks. So the mulch is put down on the ground to prevent the areas getting muddy, which is great to prevent the foot infections in animals. The mulch also breaks down into the soil naturally. Our animal waste here at the park is brought to a manure heap on site. This breaks down naturally and it makes a great rich fertilizer. So this fertilizer is used in the animal paddocks to help the grass growth, in our educational vegetable gardens. We also have used it in the reclaimed land for the new spider monkey enclosure. So through the circular economy of browse production, we reduce the cost of feed, bedding and maintenance. This can be reinvested into conservation projects here and also abroad.